Hello everyone, Johnny Thunder, EAS&Weather here, with an update to the Day 1 Outlook. There has been some changes with the Day 1 Outlook as of the midday update, so I gotta get right to them. First off, the Storm Prediction Center has added a third slight risk area today, covering south central Kansas, northwestern Oklahoma, far eastern part of the Oklahoma Panhandle, and the northeastern part of the Texas Panhandle. But otherwise, this slight here and this slight here remains the same. So anyway, and this marginal risk here remains the same largely, okay? But the Storm Prediction Center has added two additional marginals for today, one covering southeastern Oregon, parts of Idaho, and southwestern Montana. And another new marginal today covers southeastern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, northwestern Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky, and south central Illinois. So cities in today's slights include Bismarck, North Dakota, Kearney, Nebraska, Hastings, Nebraska, Jamestown, North Dakota, and Woodward, Oklahoma. And cities in today's marginals include Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So, now going to the tornado threat for today. This 5% tornado risk remains the same, so I'm not going to go over that. The 2% remains the same, except it's been expanded southward to include parts of Nebraska and northern Kansas. So, anyway, cities in the 5% tornado risk area today include Bismarck, North Dakota, Jamestown, North Dakota, and Devil's Lake, North Dakota. And the 2% today includes Grand Island, Nebraska, Minot, North Dakota, Kearney, Nebraska, Aberdeen, South Dakota, and Hastings, Nebraska. Now to the wind threat. So, the Storm Prediction Center has added two areas where we have a 15% chance of damaging wind gusts of 58 miles per hour higher today, one covering central North Dakota and north central South Dakota. The second 15% today encompasses south central Kansas, northwestern Oklahoma, the eastern part of the Panhandle of Oklahoma, and the northeastern part of the Panhandle of Texas. This 5% wind risk here remains the same, so I'm not going to go over that. There are two additional 5% wind risk areas for today, one covering southeastern Oregon, parts of Idaho, and southwestern Montana. And the second additional 5% today covers southeastern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, northwestern Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky, and south central Illinois. But otherwise, this 5% here remains the same pretty much mostly, except for the again, two upgrade areas. Cities in the 15% wind risk areas today include Jamestown, North Dakota, Woodward, Oklahoma, and Devil's Lake, North Dakota. And the 5% wind risk areas today include Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now for the hail threat for today, there are two areas. Well, this 15% hail risk here remains the same, okay? So I'm not going to go over that. But there's an additional 15%, a tiny 15% hail risk today, covering a tiny bit of south central Kansas, a tiny bit of northwestern Oklahoma, a tiny bit of the Panhandle of Oklahoma, and a tiny bit of the Panhandle of Texas. Cities in the 15% hail risk areas today include Kearney, Nebraska, Hastings, Nebraska, and Lexington, Nebraska. And as for the hail threat, this 5% hail risk here remains pretty much the same. There is an additional 5% hail risk today, covering southeastern Oklahoma, parts of Idaho. Oh, really? This additional 5% hail risk today includes southeastern Oregon, parts of Idaho, and southwestern Montana. So, the 5% hail risk areas today include Lincoln, Nebraska, Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Midland, Texas. So, in the summary, at least isolated severe thunderstorms are possible across a broad portion of the Great Basin this afternoon to early evening. A more concentrated threat for a couple of tornadoes is evident over parts of the Dakotas. So, that's your Day 1 Outlook update. So, those are the changes I had to address. So, anyway, stay safe in the affected areas today, even the marginals, because sometimes marginals can produce some pretty strong storms and overperform, but especially be safe in the slights. So, anyway, if Day 2 remains just general thunderstorms, then I'm not going to have a Day 2 Outlook video, because there'll be no point. But anyway, as I told you earlier, I have classes tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. So, if Day 1 gets upgraded to a marginal tomorrow, I will not be able to have the video. I know Day 3 right now is a marginal, but I'm not going to be able to have the Day 2 Outlook tomorrow. And I will not be able to have the Day 1 Outlook on Tuesday, considering I have class on Tuesday from 8 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. So, with any risk that occurs, SPC, Convective Outlooks, will have to fill in for me for the videos tomorrow and at least the first video on Tuesday. So, stay safe today, and I will see you when I see you. Take care.